to say one thing about that. As the current secretary for the Queer Caucus, there's something about the process of, and I know this is like a tricky and always talked about issue, but there's something about the process of panel sponsorship by caucuses that doesn't allow us as a caucus to really help in these conversations. Because the way that caucuses are invited and allowed to sponsor panels is after the fact of acceptance, right? So, I mean, for example, this panel, any one of us on the Queer Caucus board could have said to SCMS, like, this has to happen, these are these people, you know, like, I know SCMS has mechanisms that's supposed to be people deciding who know that, but the caucuses know that when it's in their area, and we don't get let into that process until everything is already set. So
that's something to talk to Chris about.
Yeah.
She really wanted to come, by the way. It's really cool that the president is one of us. And it's something we should tell her, because I think that these 2 points are really important. Like, and they're very simple institutional changes that would matter a lot to those of us who do political or otherwise cordoned off work from the rest of the bunch. Any other thoughts before we end? Yeah.
I was just going to ask, I mean, how that process, how does that process even work? Is it really the case that they don't know who Greg Bordowitz is? Or,
yeah.
I mean,
he's got a flat rejection letter, you know.
I don't know either. That's why, I mean, I know Sean was looking at proposals, so I guess they farm it out to the executive.
We had to do like a short blurb, like a 2-line blurb workshop participants, and it was like congressional bios.
Right. I mean, I've done workshops too. I guess I'm asking specifically about the selection process. Is that something that is shrouded in history, or you know, or it should be more transparent?
I will tell you that Chris was very upset when she found out, and she said to me in some private interactions, you know, it's become a really big conference and a really big field, and that intimacy that we once had, and even that sort of knowledge about who different people were doing fields that we didn't care about is probably no longer true. That's what she said. Like, she couldn't necessarily know that people would know what queer scholars are doing in cinema studies, or who the important queer filmmakers are in the history of the world. You know, I have to say that I felt really embarrassed, mostly about Greg, because it's like artists don't participate in this conference very often. It was really nice that he wanted to. He's going to show clips of the new film. Like, that to me is also a kind of effacement that often happens here. It's why artists don't want to come here. So like, that just is embarrassing. But so you know, that's what Chris said. It's too big. The field is too big. The conference is too big.
I mean, it's sort of analogous to, I'm also thinking, we have all this wonderful, allegedly wonderful new media, but it's so diffuse that, you know, it should be allowing us to communicate all of these things, but where do you go to find it? Right? I mean, it seems like in the 80s there was a more concentrated point of just dispersal of information and media.
That's what we were talking about at the Tongues Untied 25-year panel. You were there. And how that film functioned so well for so many communities, because communities met in rooms and talked together about films. And Marlon Riggs had made that film. Vivian told us for 3 bars. It was a really important moment when she said that. Like, he made it for 3 bars. He wanted to show that film in 3 bars. He wanted to have a conversation in 3 bars. He knew what the 3 bars were, and he did. And then it dispersed out farther. But that we only have dispersion just allows us to know each other. You know, to know that the panel is, you know, so.